Ladies and gentlemen, Derek Lane with the Fast Lane. Hey, listen, tonight is just a very short episode live. If you're listening, this is kind of a demo for some things that I'm going to be doing in the future, setting up for a lot of feedback, a lot of content, chat conversations about some of the subjects that you want to hear about. Basically revolving around the subjects and the podcasts that I've done already, and I want to hear from the people that have listened to the podcast and that may have questions about some of the things that we've talked about. I just think it's a good way to interact, and if you heard something that hey, I like that, it sounds very viable, but I didn't really get the full gist of it. It'd be a great time to call in and talk to the host about it. Me, man, that sounds kind of weird. Maybe like a third party type thing. Derek Lane, talk to me about what's going on, specific details that you can relate to, in regards to some of the podcasts that we've done. Tonight, again, it's just going to be that, just kind of a rehash about some of the shows, from goal setting to accepting, what the universe has for you, what you have for the universe, and how to realize some of your goals, how to realize your future, how to realize your success. These are very important. You have to discuss them. You have to, sometimes we go through life and we may not feel connected, which in and of itself may be a problem. We may not feel connected to, we've got friends that we can discuss things with, but when it comes to the really important things, the things that are really deep within our soul, that maybe we feel like they can't really divulge, just because they're hours and hours only. You've got to have somebody to confide in. You can't bounce ideas off yourself. You got to bounce ideas off other people. So I want to be that springboard for you, the person that you can call into and talk to, without any bias, without any preconceived discriminations in who you are, what you can accomplish. Because I believe in you. I believe that you can do anything that you want to do. And again, we've talked about the realities of goal setting. If you're remotely capable of doing it, you can do it. You can't move a mountain. You can, but you can't do it single-handedly. Like I say, this is a precursor for some of the things that I'm setting up. And just keep in mind that tonight's not tonight. I'm not going to entertain call-ins tonight. We will in the near future. This is, just being quite honest with you, this is more of a test podcast for the live show that will be forthcoming. And again, you guys have been great. You guys have been really wonderful in the feedback that I'm getting, that you really enjoyed the show. Thank you so much. One of the shows that I had was about feedback, and it was about how you learn from feedback. And I've learned a lot. I've had some people kind of give me some information that was needed. Maybe wasn't the most pleasant thing to hear, but that's okay. Honesty. honesty is great, because I think it's gonna help you and I both. You know, there's a lot of information that I have to bestow upon you. There's a lot of information that I want to get out, that I truly feel will make a difference in your life. It's made a difference in my life, and it's reciprocal. The more feedback I get, the more I understand, and the more I understand about the content that I'm offering. So there's a blog. I just created a blog on my webpage today, as a matter of fact, the values of podcast. Not just my podcast, but podcasts in general, of how listening to podcasts. I particularly addressed the if in your drive time, that if you're in your car and you can set up your podcast and listen to some of your favorite subjects, it's a wonderful way to educate yourself, make your car a learning machine, and invigorate yourself, maybe even become motivated, and start your day out right, or end your day positive, whatever the case may be, or in the middle of the day when you're going to lunch, whatever. It's just a good avenue to do. I believe in podcasts. I think it's the next big thing. Really, I do. I think, and it's not like a fad either. It's going to be something that is here to stay for a while. I'm not old enough to know when FM radio came about, but I'm told that FM radio was like the biggest thing to AM radio. AM radio was so censored. It was just, and FM was kind of like, woohoo, man, these guys can talk about anything. Really couldn't, but it seemed that way. Podcast, I mean, I can hit the explicit lyrics button and I can curse my butt off. I don't choose to do that. I think it would devalue a lot of what I have, my message, and I don't want to do that. But for the right situation, whoever, I understand cursing. I get it. I'm not, whatever. Different subject. You guys are great, wonderful. Again, this was meant to be a test podcast, and I appreciate if anybody's listening to it. I appreciate it, and just get that the true essence of what I'm doing is forthcoming, and I can't wait. It's going to be really, really, really valuable to you, and to myself as well. So thank you all, Derek Lane, the Fast Lane, and have a good evening. I appreciate it.